चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहिगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशकारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायिते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौतुषे हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिकान्ता राधाकान्त नमस्ते सप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी नमामि हरिप्रिये पञ्चकल्पतरुर्भ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमोस्तुते दासवशाल बुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दाय पत्रनेत्रे येन त्वया भारत तैलपूर्णः प्रज्वलितो ज्ञानमय प्रदीपः प्रपन्ना परिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतादुहे नमः। Studying chapter 11 of Bhagavad-gita, the universal form. So yesterday we read the verses where Arjuna made the request to Krishna to show his form through which he pervades the entire world. And then Krishna started showing that form. First of all, he described about that form. Then he started showing that form, and Sanjaya gave a vivid description of it to Dhritarashtra. So in that form, Arjuna first saw, as is explained by Baldev Vidyabhushan, different things. The totality of the demigods, the Kala Rupa, the Lord as the creator with 1,000 heads. And what else? There was one more.
Antaryami.
Sorry? Yeah,
Antaryami.
Lord as the super soul. So the Kala Rupa description is going on. And then Arjun will ask a question. What is this? I'm not able to understand. So, Nabha sprishang deeptamaneka varnam vyatananam deeptavishalanetram drishtva hitam pravyatitantaratma driting navindami shamam ch Vishnu. O all-pervading Vishnu, seeing you with your many radiant colors, touching the sky, your gaping mouths, and your great glowing eyes, my mind is perturbed by fear. I can no longer maintain my steadiness or equilibrium of mind. So earlier Arjuna was wonderstruck, now is afraid, now is frightened. Yes, he is afraid looking at this form. Next verse. Dramshta karalani chate mukhani दृष्ट्वैव कालानलसन्निभानि दिशो न जाने न लभे च शर्मा प्रसीद देवेश जगन्निवास. O Lord of Lords, O refuge of the worlds, please be gracious to me. I cannot keep my balance seeing thus your blazing, death-like faces and awful teeth. In all directions I am bewildered. Next. अमी च तां धृतराष्ट्रस्य पुत्रः सर्वे सहेवावनिपालसङ्गिः भीष्मो द्रोणः सूतपुत्रस्तथासौ सहास्मदीयैरपि योद्धमुख्यैः वक्त्राणि ते त्वरमाणा विशन्ति दंष्ट्राकरालानि भयानकानि केचिद् विलग्ना दशनान्तरेषु सन्दृश्यन्ते चूर्णितैरुत्तमाङ्गैः. All the sons of Dhritarashtra, along with the allied kings and Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and our chief soldiers also, are rushing into your fearful mouths. And some I see trapped with heads smashed between your teeth. So the future outcome of the battle is being shown to Arjuna now, because Krishna promised this form will show you everything of the past, the present, and the future. And also, uh, Arjuna had a request. I mean, not a request. Arjuna had a doubt, a curiosity. In the beginning of Bhagavad-gita, Arjuna told Krishna, I don't know what will be the outcome of this battle. Will we win or will they win? Who will die? Who will survive? I don't understand. So Krishna has even, you know, removed that doubt of Arjuna, that concern. What will happen? Is shown very clearly. All the sons of the Dhritarashtra, along with the allied kings, Bhishma, Drona, Karna, they will all die, and even the chief soldiers of Pandava's side. In a previous verse, the Lord promised to show Arjuna things he would be very interested in seeing. Now Arjuna sees that the leaders of the opposite party, Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and all the sons of Dhritarashtra, and their soldiers, and Arjuna's own soldiers, are all being annihilated. This is an indication that after the death of nearly all the persons assembled at Kurukshetra, Arjuna will emerge victorious. It is also mentioned here that Bhishma, who is supposed to be unconquerable, will also be smashed. So also Karna. Not only will the great warriors of the other party like Bhishma be smashed, but some of the great warriors of Arjuna's side also will be smashed. Actually, everyone will be smashed. Only seven people will be left on the side of Pandavas. यथा नदीनां बहवं भुवेगः समुद्रमेवाभिमुखा द्रवन्ति तथा तवामि नरलोकवीरा विशन्ति वक्त्राणि अभिविज्वलन्ति. As the many waves of the rivers flow into the ocean, so do all these great warriors enter blazing into your mouths. So when the rivers enter into the ocean, that produces a loud noise, thunderous sound, of the river entering into the ocean. And the river gushes into the ocean. So that was one sight. And the other was what? Yatha pradiptam jwalanam patanga vishanti nashaya samrittavega tatheva nashaya vishanti lokas tavapi bhaktrani samrittavega. I see all people rushing full speed into your mouths as moths dash to destruction in a blazing fire. So you see, two kinds of graphic descriptions are given. One is of the river entering into the ocean, and there is of moth entering into blazing fire. In both the case, the sight is not very pleasant to see, and both signify destruction. The river enters into ocean, so the river is also, in one sense, at that moment, destroyed, or the river ends there. And similarly, when the moth enters into fire, the moth is destroyed. So a question may arise in a thoughtful reader's mind that why two kind of descriptions are given here? One of river entering into ocean, and the other moth entering into fire. Two different analogies to describe the same end, death, right? So if we are thoughtful, we'll be able to conclude that Krishna showed these to Arjuna because Krishna wanted to show to Arjuna that mm, on that battlefield of Kurukshetra in the Mahabharata war, naturally people will die, and from both the sides. But one type of people will be dying in a natural way, and the other will be dying in a forced manner. You know, how when the rivers enter into the ocean, though the river ends there, it's a natural thing. It's not that the river is inviting its end, but when the moth enters into fire, it is self destruction. The fire did not really invite the moth, or the fire did not pull the moth. The moths, out of foolishness, went into the fire and got destroyed, right? Which means what? The moth died before it should have died because of attraction to fire. So, Krishna, in this chapter, through these two analogies, is conveying that in that battle, some people they died because it was their time to die, and some people died because they invited death because of their wrong deeds. You know, their age was reduced, their lifespan was reduced. How? They tried to hmm, they tried to disrobe Draupadi, and because of that, they got cursed. Mm, As they became witness to that shameful act, their lifespan was reduced. So that's how this analogy is befitting moth entering into fire. Mm. Whereas other soldiers, they died because they are fighting in a battle. It's natural to die. Mm. So both are having destruction. Soldiers on the Pandava side as well as soldiers on the Kaurava side. But some are dying because they have invited death because of their wrong deeds. And some are dying natural. It's time for them to die. So when I explain this point, sometimes devotee asks this question, but is that not decided? Don't you have a fixed lifespan? And there's nothing like accidental death or premature death or anything like that. Isn't it decided? One will die, one's supposed to die. So there's nothing like that actually. Um, one can die before one is supposed to die, and one can even live longer than one is supposed to live. So that all depends on now how do I live my life. In Ishopanishad, we study that someone who develops Ishavasya consciousness, that person can live for thousands of years. We also know of yogis who, through the practice of yoga, can increase the lifespan. Similarly, there are people who can reduce their lifespan by unhealthy habits, by so many other different things. So here, the Kauravas, they reduce the lifespan because of insulting Draupadi. Next verse. Leliyase grasamanah samanta lokan samagran vadane jaladbhihi tejobhir apurya jagat samagram bhasastavo grapatapanti Vishnu. O Vishnu, I see you devouring all people from all sides with your flaming mouths, covering all the universe with your effulgence. You are manifest with terrible, scorching rays. There is a question, I think, in the chat box. Why will some in Pandava's side be smashed? Weren't Pandavas righteous? Pandavas were righteous, definitely. And the Pandavas did not get smashed, but the soldiers on the side of Pandavas got smashed. And why was that done? Because the whole purpose of Battle of Kurukshetra was to bring Kshatriyas together and kill them and get the burden of earth reduced. So from either side, whether it was Pandavas or Kauravas. Krishna had to reduce their population. So therefore, people died on both the sides. Not that only Kauravas had to come. Pandavas had also died. But the destination was different. आख्याहि मे को भवानुग्ररूपो नमस्तुते देववर प्रसीद विज्ञातुमिच्छामि भवन्तमाद्यं न हि प्रजानामि तव प्रवृत्तिम्. O Lord of Lords, so fierce of form, please tell me who you are. I offer my obeisances unto you. Please be gracious to me. You are the primal Lord. I want to know about you, but I do not know what your mission is. Now Arjuna is saying, I don't know who you are. Who you are, please tell me. I offer my obeisances unto you. So Arjuna is disturbed now. The same Arjuna told before. Param Brahma, Param Dhama. Now Arjuna is saying, who are you? I don't know. I don't understand. So Arjuna is asking this question to whom? To Krishna? No. He's asking this question to the universal form.
Universal form.
Yeah. I have a question to ask. Have you seen the painting where Krishna is showing the universal form to Arjuna?
Yes, bro.
So in that painting, what do we see? Krishna is standing on the chariot. Arjuna is sitting on the chariot or whatever standing on the chariot. And then the whole sky is filled up with the universe.
Yes.
Yes. So if Krishna is standing right in front of Arjuna, and it's the same Krishna who was before showing the universal form, why would Arjuna ask the question, who are you?
Might be because
And,
Arjuna was confused after
Because he
seeing
was,
the universal form.
and second thing, if Krishna was actually present in front of Arjuna, why will Arjuna make a request in future? Please remove this form. I don't want to see it anymore and show me that form again, the previous form. Krishna was standing
because
right
he
in front.
loved, because he
If
loved that
Krishna was
form. He
standing
was,
right in front of Arjuna, then Arjuna could have said, no, I am seeing two forms now. One is two-armed form and the other is universal form. So remove the universal form. I just want to see the two-armed form. But Arjuna said, you remove this form and show me that which were there before, previously.
Said Prabhuji that Krishna's form was not there. He was seeing only the universal form. That is what he told Krishna. Okay, who are you? But when Krishna responds and says that I am this, then he comes to know Krishna is there. Then he says, you show me the original form. Is it that?
So, uh, in the painting, it is illustrated in that way. But actually, Krishna, when he showed the universal form to Arjuna, Krishna was not in the two-armed form in front of Arjuna. Arjuna was just seeing the universal. And that's why Arjuna got very disturbed. I mean, what is this? Where is Krishna? What is this? Who is this? Who are you? Is asking. So the form will say, not that Krishna will say. If Krishna would have said, I am Kal, then not the form would say, right? And that form would say, I am Kal. Then Arjuna will say, okay, please show me that form now, the previous form. So now Krishna will reply. So Arjuna is actually not acting. One may say, right? Why are you acting so much? You say Krishna is standing in front of you, and the universal form is also there. Why are you acting so much? So at that time, Arjuna was really, really disturbed, because what he was seeing was very different from what he expected. So he's saying, what is this? What is your mission? And then the Lord says, Shri Bhagavan Vacha Kalosmi Lokakshay Krit Prabuddho Lokan Samahartumiha Pravittaha Rite Pitam Na Bhavishyanti Sarve Eva Sthita Pratyanikeshu Yotha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, I am the great destroyer of the worlds, and I've come here to destroy all people. With the exception of you, the Pandavas, all the soldiers here on both sides will be slave.
Prabhuji, here in 32, it is written Shri Bhagavan was. It is used for universal form because actually it is the universal form which is responding that I am called.
Yeah, it's the same, no? Universal form
Okay,
is who?
fine. Thank you.
It's the same. Mm. Oh. Let's read the purport. Vaiji Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Although Arjuna knew that Krishna was his friend and the supreme personality of Godhead, he was puzzled by the various forms exhibited by Krishna. Therefore, he asked further about the actual mission of this devastating force. It is written in the Vedas that the supreme truth destroys everything, even the Brahmanas. As stated in the Katha Upanishad 1.2.25, Yasya Brahma cha Kshatram cha Ube Bhavata Odanaha Mrityur Yasyopashecharam Ka Ita Veda Yatra Saha. Eventually, all the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and everyone else are devoured like a meal by the Supreme. This form of the Supreme Lord is the all-devouring giant, and here Krishna presents himself in that form of all-devouring time. Except for a few Pandavas, everyone who was present on that battlefield would be devoured by him. Arjuna was not in favor of the fight, and he thought it was better not to fight, then there would be no frustration. In reply, the Lord is saying that even if he did not fight, every one of them would be destroyed, for that was his plan. If Arjuna stopped fighting, they would die in another way. Death could not be checked, even if he did not fight. In fact, they were already dead. Time is destruction, and all manifestations are to be vanquished by the desire of the Supreme Lord. That is the law of nature. Hare Krishna.
So Krishna is telling Arjuna, Arjuna, you see, they are all anyway going to die. Even if you kill them or you don't kill them. I have decided they should die. So they will die. Right? So here a question arises. Krishna has made up his mind that these people are all supposed to die. And Krishna has even shown that to Arjuna. Right? So there are two things. First, if things are destined to happen as per God's plan, why not just wait and watch for them to unfold? Why endeavor? With all the
Prabhuji, there
many
has to be a
reasons
medium.
possible, looking at it
There has
from
to be a,
different perspectives. Just said there has to be a medium.
We are acting as God's instruments.
So,
Prabhuji, results
there
are
has to be-
dependent on our
Yeah, this
response to the situation also. No?
and
This is our Dharma. Krishna
these are
wants us
dharma.
to.
And Krishna asks us to work.
Man propose and God dispose.
Man proposes, God disposes. Because we are still trapped, so we are servants, we must endeavor. He wants to give credit to his devotees. Yes? What else?
And also, Krishna is abandoned by devotees' love through their endeavoring.
Karmanyavadhikaraste Prabhuji, he has said inaction is not the answer, you have to act.
You have to act. And but that goal can be achieved by Krishna without my help also, right? So why should I endeavor?
We can purify ourselves as per this process, improve ourselves.
Engage ourselves.
develop our love to him.
Krishna wants to give credit to his devotees, so he is facilitated them to act so that credit can be given to them and they can be glorified also.
If we don't do anything, we will not be able to get liberation from this cycle of birth and death. If we just sit, wait and watch.
So we should put effort because we want liberation. Huh?
We are acting for Krishna. We should do our activities for the love of Krishna because Krishna has said us to do that.
Okay. And
I think Krishna wants us to surrender to you and also love him.
Because he wants the exchange of loving devotional service.
okay, very good. Yes. So he wants us to engage in loving devotion. So what we can understand is so many reasons are there, correct reasons are there why we should endeavor. But one reason, which is also very important, is that life is not a punishment. It's an opportunity to love and serve the Lord actively. And how do you do that? How do you demonstrate that? By putting some endeavors, some efforts in doing something, even if the result is predestined. But love is shown by efforts, service, active service. So therefore, though Krishna has decided that, they will all die, still on Arjuna's part, he has to act in a way to show his love to Krishna. Right? And in that way, use that opportunity to come closer to Krishna. Just like Prabhupada used to say, isn't it? That Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants the message of Krishna consciousness to be spread all over the world. Bhaktivinoda Thakur desires that. My Guru Maharaj wants that. Now either we put efforts for it to be done, or someone else will come and put efforts and get it done. So it depends on who wants to take the credit. Right? Mahaprabhu has already decided that will happen. So here is it's an opportunity. And next verse. Tasmat muttishta yasho labhasva jitva shatrun bhumshva rajan samriddham mayyevaite nihata purvameva nimitta matram bhavasabhya sachim. Therefore get up, prepare to fight and win glory. Conquer your enemies and enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement. And you, O Sabyasachi, can be but an instrument in the fight. So Arjuna is saying that you become an instrument. And Krishna is saying, sorry to Arjuna, you become an instrument. And Krishna is encouraging Arjuna. Arjuna may say, well, all these personalities are such great fighters. How will I fight? How will I face them in the battle? So Krishna is saying, don't worry. You are also qualified. You are Savyasachin. Savyasachin means ambidextrous. That means you can fight with both the hands. You can shoot arrows. So you are qualified. Very, very qualified. Right? There's a very interesting lesson here in this verse. We'll talk about that later. First, let's read the purport. Alok Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandvat. Sabyasachi refers to one who can shoot arrows very expertly in the field. Thus, Arjuna is addressed as an expert warrior capable of delivering arrows to kill his enemies. Just become an instrument, nimit matram. This word is also very significant. The whole world is moving according to the plan of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. Foolish persons who do not have sufficient knowledge think that the nature is moving without a plan and all manifestations are but accidental formation. There are many so-called scientists who suggest that perhaps it was like this or maybe like that. But there is no question of perhaps and maybe. There is a specific plan being carried out in this material world. What is this plan? This cosmic manifestation is a chance for the conditioned souls to go back to the Godhead, back to home, as long as they have to domineering mentality, which makes them try to lord it over material nature. They are conditioned, but anyone who can understand the plans of the Supreme Lord and cultivate Krishna consciousness is most intelligent. The creation and destruction of the cosmic manifestations are under the superior guidance of God. Thus, the battle of Kurukshetra was fought according to the plan of God. Arjuna was refusing to fight, but he was told that he should fight in accordance with the desire of the Supreme Lord. Then he would be happy. If one is in the full Krishna consciousness and his life is devoted to the Lord's transcendental service, he is perfect. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Any questions so far? No. So here you see, there is a very important lesson. Once I was hearing a lecture of Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhupada was talking, of course, out of humility, Prabhupada would mostly say that I am nothing. I'm simply an instrument in the hands of my spiritual master. I've done nothing. It's all by the mercy of my spiritual master that I've been able to achieve so much and do so much or do some service to Krishna, all that, right? People would glorify him for his success, but Prabhupada would say, my only credit is that I did not change anything. I did not add anything or remove anything. I presented things as it is. That's how he would, not take the credit and pass on the credit to Srila Bhakti-siddhanta Saraswati. And that is true. I mean, in spiritual life, success is not obtained just by one's own skills or qualities or efforts. We know very clearly it's all by the mercy of Krishna, and so much of support is there, mercy is there coming from the parampara, that when one is empowered, then one is able to do such things, such wonderful things, right? So, but Prabhupada once in a lecture, he said that that he was qualified to preach the message of Krishna consciousness all over the world. In what sense? He said that in my college days, I had 3 subjects. And these 3 subjects prepared me for my future mission. So he said, I studied Sanskrit. So that made me very proficient in Sanskrit. I studied English literature. So that made my English, up to the mark. And I studied economics, which gave me all the, business skills, how to run an international organization, right? So then he said that materially, I was qualified. And then, of course, spiritually also, he was blessed. So Krishna is also mentioning here to Arjuna, Arjuna, you can fight and kill them because you're Sabyasachi, which means that to be able to do spiritually something great, sometimes material skills and qualities are also needed. You can't just neglect them or overlook them, And if they are there with us, we can use them in Krishna Seva. Sometimes thinking that everything will happen by Krishna's mercy, devotees don't put efforts enough to work on themselves or to learn something. When Prabhupada was sending 3 couple disciples to London to preach Krishna consciousness, for 1 week he trained them in chanting Hare Krishna with the symbols, kartal. And he said, I want you to sing nicely. Not that you should sing like a professional, but your singing should be pleasant. Why did he give them training? He could have just said, you sing from your heart. Just go there and sing from your heart. No, he trained them. You should sing like this in a nice way, properly. So sometimes we think material qualities, material skills, material things are not needed. You just depend on Krishna's mercy. But it's not so. What is material is also given by Krishna and should be used in Krishna Seva. So Prabhupada was qualified in that sense because he knew those subjects very well, and that was needed for his worldwide mission to spread. And similarly, Arjuna is qualified. He's Savyasachin. Right. So devotees have to understand that material is not material as long as we want to use it in Krishna Seva. And we should, if we have something which is nice, good quality, good skill, we should use it in Krishna Seva. That will decorate that quality much more. Right? That will decorate that quality much more. So this is very important. To become an instrument in Krishna Seva, we should also qualify ourselves. That is also a kind of price that we are paying if we love Krishna. Isn't it? Therefore, this is very nice statement and also an example from the life of Bhakti Maharaj. What is that? He says, the greatest joy is the joy of being used by the Lord in His service. So if we have to learn some skills to serve Krishna, should we learn them or not? Or we should just think it's waste of time?
Yes.
Let's only do.
We should learn.
We should learn. We should learn, right? There's not even a single example where a devotee or disciple approached Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, I'm doing my graduation from a university. I want to leave it and join the movement. You'll find all the devotees who are studying and they approached Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, no, you should complete your studies at least. Complete it. Why he said so? Because that if you have already put your feet into it, and there's only some time left, and it's not, you're not doing it at the expense of giving up Krishna consciousness. So that keep it with you because it may become an asset for you in future to serve Krishna. Right? It may become an asset for you to serve Krishna. So Prabhupada was not that fanatic. Now there are devotees who are fanatic, As soon as they come to the movement, there are examples of they threw away their graduation certificate, college graduation certificate, or they threw away their mark sheet, or they just put it in the Ganga. No, I'm done with it. But how much space was it keeping it in your house? Right? So Prabhupada was not like that. He said, use it in Krishna Seva if you can. If you can. Not just waste it. Let it go. So that's how we should see everything. And what is the best way to do it? This is the best way to do it. Use your skills in God's service, but not with pride. In a humble way. Right? Not that I am so skillful, you see. No. It is given to me by Krishna and I'm going to use it in Krishna's service. Without God's help and arrangement, we cannot do anything nice. But if we have a skill, we should use it. We should not deny. Okay. Now, this is an interesting exercise which I asked devotees to do when we do this chapter. Gita and nuclear physics. This instance of the discovery of atomic bomb, right? And the person who did that, John Robert Oppenheimer, however you pronounce it. So when he saw that sight of the blast of the atomic bomb, he recalled a verse from Bhagavad-gita. He recalled a verse from Bhagavad-gita that Krishna says in Bhagavad-gita, time I am. His way of expressing was a little different from the way Prabhupada translates. But he also recalled something from the Bhagavad-gita. Krishna says in Bhagavad-gita, if the radiance of 1,000 suns were to burst at once into the sky, that would be like the splendor of the mighty one. So this is how Oppenheimer translated that moment of first detonation in the desert of New Mexico. Fine. And then he was given the title, the father of the atomic bomb. Okay. So later on, he also recalled that instance. Let me know if you're able to hear the sound by giving me a thumbs up.
We cannot hear Prabhuji.
No, bro. You can see lips moving.
You're not here?
No, Prabhuji.
Not able to
No, no sound.
He knew the world would not be the same. Few people laughed. Few people cried. Most people were silent. I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad-gita. Vishnu is trying to persuade the prince that he should do his duty, and to impress him takes on his multi-armed form and says, now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. I suppose we all thought that one way or another.
You heard that now?
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
Clearly.
He's saying few people cried, few people laughed, right? Few people were silent. And then he remembered these words from Lord Vishnu speaking in Bhagavad-gita to Arjuna. Do your duty. So Oppenheimer, he recalled Bhagavad-gita's statements, right? Now here, in the light of what you have understood from Bhagavad-gita, would you call Oppenheimer's thoughts at that moment or his consciousness at that moment Krishna consciousness? Did Oppenheimer, just like Arjuna, act as an instrument in the hands of Kala, eternal time?
No, Prabhuji.
No,
He
Prabhu.
was an instrument.
If
of the US.
Oppenheimer did do a mistake in understanding the Gita, what was that?
He took do your duty as something which would even cause destruction. He considered that as a duty.
But then Arjuna is also going to cause destruction.
But it was as per Krishna's wish. Here he is taking his own decision and working accordingly.
Okay. So what was his mistake then?
He was under the Working under the US government, not under Krishna.
Okay, very true. And what else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Bhagavad-gita. His act was not shastric.
That was not
The
shastric.
scripture, not a specific.
So if he is remembering Bhagavad Gita, what is this mistake that he's doing in understanding Bhagavad Gita? In the same Bhagavad Gita, there are so many other things also mentioned, no? So what is mistake? He's just reading words, he isn't doing Bhakti Yoga.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. He did a mistake and then he created this destructive atomic bomb and he's referring to Bhagavad Gita. He's quoting Bhagavad Gita to substantiate his work, whatever he has done.
Prabhuji, without any shastric injunctions, he created this instrument of destruction of humanity. That is, he created violence. Probably, if he had read Bhagavad Gita before, he would not have manufactured this bomb.
But he read, no, already, he said.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, his Krishna consciousness was not favorable. Like Kamsa and all are in Krishna consciousness, but they're not in favor of Krishna.
Yes, Anukulyena, not
Prabhuji, we
Anukul.
read earlier, that we should remember Krishna. Krishna says somewhere, first remember me and then do your duty, whatever it is. So it is not like he's kind of trying to quote the Gita to justify the action that he has done. But my understanding is, before we begin any action or before we start doing anything, we should call Krishna at that stage and then do our duty.
So then there's the answer for that can be found in the next verse itself by Prabhupada's explanation. Dronam cha bhishmam cha jayadratham cha karnam rathanyam api yodhaviran maya hatangstam jahima vyatishta yudhya svajeta shirane sapatnan. Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, and the other great warriors have already been destroyed by me. Therefore, kill them and do not be disturbed. Simply fight, and you'll vanquish your enemies in battle. Purport. In the purport Prabhupada mentions something interesting. Sridhi Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhupada. Every plan is made by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he is so kind and merciful to his devotees that he wants to give the credit to his devotees who carry out his plan according to his desire. Life should therefore move in such a way that everyone acts in Krishna consciousness and understands the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the medium of a spiritual master. The plans of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are understood by his mercy, and the plans of the devotees are as good as his plans. One should follow such plans and be victorious in the struggle for existence. Thank you, Guru Hare Krishna.
Yes. So in the purport, you would have noticed something which is very important. Prabhupada mentions, therefore move in such a way, life should move in such a way that everyone acts in Krishna consciousness and understands the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the medium of a spiritual master. The plans of the Supreme Lord are understood by his mercy, and the plans of the devotees are as good as his plans. So the first mistake which Oppenheimer must have done or did in studying or understanding or reading Bhagavad Gita is he did not accept a guru, no spiritual master. So therefore, what he understood from the Gita was a wrong understanding. Just read the book, and that's the way in the Western culture they think knowledge can be obtained. You just read something and you can obtain knowledge. So he did not try to understand it through the medium of a spiritual master. He did not understand the Lord's plans. And Lord's plans can be understood only by his mercy. So he did not understand Lord's plans. And therefore he was not able to understand what was Krishna's desire for him. What did Krishna expect from him, want from him? And whatever he did, he somehow tried to convince himself that perhaps this was Krishna's desire or God's desire, and I just became an instrument in doing that. Right? So this is a mistake which I did. Next verse. Sanjay Uvacha Etat Shrutva Vachanam Keshavasya Kritanjalivepamanah Kiriti Namaskritva Bhuya Evaha Krishnam Sagat Kadam Bhita Bhita Pranamya. Sanjay said to Dhritarashtra, O king, after hearing these words from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the trembling Arjuna offered obeisances with folded hands again and again. He fearfully spoke to Krishna in a faltering voice as follows. Purport. As I have already explained, because of the situation created by the universal form of the personality, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna became bewildered in wonder. Thus he began to offer his respectful obeisances to Krishna again and again. And with faltering voice, he began to pray, not as a friend, but as a devotee in wonder. Right? Next. Arjuna Vacha. So now begins Arjuna's prayers. Arjuna is going to pray to Krishna for his forgiveness. He'll say, I'm sorry, actually, I did not understand who you are. Very nice set of verses are these, where he's expressing his apparent so-called mistake in understanding Krishna. So, these are the subjects of the verses. In verse 36 to 38, Arjuna glorifies Krishna. In verses 39 and 40, Arjuna offers obeisances to Krishna. In verses 41 to 44, Arjuna begs for forgiveness, apologizes. And in verses 45 to 46, he makes the request. What's his request? I don't want to see this form anymore. Please show me your previous form. That form I want to see. Right? Arjuna Vacha Sthane Rishikesha Tava Prakirtaya Jagat Prahishyati Anurajyate Cha Lakshamsi Bhitani Disho Dravanti Sarve Namasyanti Cha Siddha Sangaha. Arjuna said, O master of the senses, the world becomes joyful upon hearing your name, and thus everyone becomes attached to you. Although the perfected beings offer you their respectful homage, the demons are afraid and they flee here and there. All this is rightly done. I'll intro, please read the purport.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Janat Nam. Arjuna, after hearing from Krishna about the outcome of the battle of Kurukshetra, became enlightened, and as a great devotee and friend of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, He said that everything done by Krishna is quite good. Arjuna confirmed that Krishna is the maintainer and the object of worship for the devotees and the destroyer of the undesirables. His actions are equally good for all. Arjuna understood herein that when the battle of Kurukshetra was being concluded, in outer space there were present many demigods, siddhas, and the intelligentsia of the higher planets, and they were observing the fight because Krishna was present there. And Arjuna saw the universal form of the Lord, the demigods took pleasure in it, but others, who were demons and atheists, could not stand it when the Lord was praised. Out of their natural fear of the devastating form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they fled. Krishna's treatment of the devotees and the atheist is prayed by Arjuna. In all cases, a devotee glorifies the Lord because he knows that whatever he does, it is good for all. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
So here Arjuna is describing two things. What is that? He saw both the attractive feature of the universal form and he saw the fierce feature of the universe. These two visions were objects of vision corresponding to people, favorable and against. If they're favorable to the Lord, like the sages and the demigods, then they will see the attractive feature of the universal form. If they are against the Lord, the Rakshasas, the Suras, the Danavas, then they'll see the fierce side of the universe. So those who are inclined favorably to the Lord,
Prabhuji,
they
it
are
means
attracted to
some of
this.
the demons also saw this universal form. Demons also saw this universal form.
Here it's not mentioned they saw. What is being explained is that for them Lord will appear as death. For devotees, there's some pleasant sights to see in the universal form. For
It
but
means that
demons,
if both of them happen to see the universal form, their reaction will be like this, separate. Is it that?
yeah, just like when Krishna is coming in front of the demons, the demons don't get any happiness to see Krishna. They are very afraid. Right? Whereas when devotees they see Krishna, then they see Krishna as their savior, their protector, their friend. It's just like the police and the thief and the normal citizen. When the normal citizen sees the police, the normal citizen feels safe. Okay, the police is around. I'm safe. But if the thief sees the police,
But it is not
the
with
same.
specific reference to seeing the universal form. It means we are not sure whether demons also saw the universal form or not.
Right? So we learn one very important lesson here that if we love Krishna, just like when Prahlad Maharaj was present in front of Narsimhadev, Narsimhadev was so furious, and everyone got afraid. Lakshmi, Brahma, Shiva, other demigods. But when Prahlad came in front of Narsimhadev, he was not afraid. Why? Because Prahlad knew this anger of Narsimhadev is another form of his love. So for those who truly love God, they see the Supreme Lord's anger also as his love and care. They don't get frightened or they don't get afraid. Like Prahlad did not get afraid. Because they know the Lord is behaving in this way out of care and concern. Right? Now, because Krishna is so great, what is Arjuna's expectation then? All the perfected beings offer you their respectful homage. And he's happy that they are doing that. Kasma chatena namirin mahatma gariyase brahmanopi adhikartre ananta devesha jagan nivasa tamaksharam sat asatat param yat. O great one, greater even than Brahma, you are the original creator. Why then should they not offer their respectful obeisances unto you, O limitless one, God of gods, refuge of the universe? You are the invincible source, the cause of all causes, transcendental to this material manifestation. Ragini Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Pranam, purport. By this offering of obeisance, Arjuna indicates that Krishna is a versatile by everyone. He is all-pervading and he is the soul of every soul. Arjuna is addressing Krishna as a Mahatma, which means that he is the most magnanimous and unlimited. Ananta indicates that there is a nothing which is not covered by the influence and energy of the Supreme Lord, and Devas means that he is the controller of all demigods and is above them all. He is the center of the whole universe. Arjuna also thought that it was the fighting that all the perfect living entities and powerful demigods offered their respectful obeisance into him, because no one is greater than him. Arjuna especially mentioned that Krishna is the greater than Brahma, because Brahma is created by him. Brahma is born out of the lotus steam grown from the navel abdomen of the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, who is the Krishna in plenary expansion. Therefore, Brahma and Lord Shiva, who is the born of the Brahma, and all other demigods must offer their respectful obeisance. It is the stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam that the Lord is respected by the Lord Shiva and Brahma, and similarly other demigods. The word Aksharam is very significant because the material creation is subject to destruction, but the Lord is above the material creation. He is the cause of all causes, and being so, He is the superior of all the conditioned soul within this material nature as well as the material cosmic manifestation itself. He is therefore the all great supreme. Hare Krishna Prabhuji Pranam.
Hare Krishna. What mood of Arjuna does come out from this particular verse he has spoken?
Everyone to respect Krishna.
Everyone should respect Krishna and
Worship him.
and what else?
Something like dasa rasa and worship Krishna as a greatness, vibhuti.
Prabhuji has
Yes.
in mind the impersonalist or other people who, in spite of knowing that he is cause of all causes and he is the refuge of universe, supreme personality, still they do not recognize his form and worship him.
Yes, that is true. But what do you see in Arjuna's personal mood here when he's speaking this verse to Krishna? What is his personal mood? He's very happy that people such as Brahma and other demigods are offering respect to Krishna. Krishna deserves that. And Arjuna is feeling that because he is a devotee of Krishna, friend of Krishna. Right? That's the quality that a devotee exhibits. When a devotee sees some other person respecting Krishna, then devotee becomes happy. A devotee, when he sees some other person glorifying one's own spiritual master, the devotee becomes happy. Why? Because there is a sense of belongingness. That yes, Krishna is my Lord. Someone is worshipping Krishna, seeing that I should also be happy. Because Krishna deserves that respect.
it means why should they not offer you? He was happy that all those people have done. And we say, when Krishna has got so many qualities, why should not anybody worship? So it is rightly that they are worshipping him. Does it mean that?
He is happy. He is very proud as a friend that Krishna is being so much respected by the demigods, even by Brahma. He is the Supreme Lord. Right? So everyone should respect Krishna. He's not amazed that why are you respecting Krishna so much? He's convinced Krishna about Krishna's position. Someone who is small must offer respect to someone who is great, and Krishna is the greatest. So when you love someone, when you appreciate someone, you rejoice in that person's glory or respect. If we love Srila Prabhupada, we'll be happy to hear someone else glorify Srila Prabhupada. Right. Otherwise, if we are envious of Prabhupada, then we will think, why are you glorifying Prabhupada? And that's the easiest way to identify whether you envy some devotee or not. If you envy some devotee, you'll not be happy to hear that devotee's glorification. You'll be like, why you glorify that devotee so much? But if there is a sense of belongingness, I belong to this devotee, or that devotee belongs to me. I belong to this guru, and that guru has a relationship with me. I belong to Krishna, and Krishna is mine. So then when there is a glorification of Krishna, then you become proud. So Arjuna is proud. Why not? Everyone should go down to Krishna. If Brahma is going down, that's nice. That's correct. He's not amazed. Why should Brahma go to Krishna? No. Right? Next verse. Tvam adidevah purusha puranas tvamasya vishvasya param nidhanam vetasi vedyam cha param cha dhama tvaya tatam vishwamananta rupa. You are the original personality of Godhead, the oldest, the ultimate sanctuary of this manifested cosmic world. You are the knower of everything, and you are all that is knowable. With the supreme refuge of the three modes, material modes, or limitless form, this whole cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you. Yes, Tulasi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Pranam Prabhu. Everything is resting on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, He is the ultimate rest. Nidhanam means that everything. Nidhanam means that everything, even the Brahman effulgence, rests on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. He is the knower of everything that is happening in this world, and if knowledge has any end, He is the end of all knowledge. Therefore, He is the known and the knowable. He is the object of knowledge because He is all-pervading, because He is the cause of the spiritual world. He is transcendental. He is also the chief personality in the transcendental world. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Ayuryamognirvarunah shashankaha prajapatistvam prapitamahascha namo namastestu sahasrakritvaha punascha bhuyopi namo namaste. You are air and you are the supreme controller. You are fire and you are water and you are the moon. You are Brahma, the first living creature, and you are the great grandfather. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you 1,000 times and again and yet again. Next verse. Namaha purastad atah prishtadaste namostute sarvata eva sarva. Ananta viryamita vikramastam sarvam samapnoshi tatosa sarvaha. Obeisances to you from the front, from behind, and from all sides. O unbounded power, you are the master of limitless might. You are all-pervading, and thus you are everything. He's offering obeisances again and again to Krishna, right? That's what he's doing. Uma Mataji, please read.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Out of loving ecstasy for Krishna, his friend Arjuna is offering his respect from all sides. He is accepting that he is a master of all potencies and all prowess, and far superior to all the great warriors assembled on the battlefield. It is said in the Vishnu Purana 1.9.69, Yo yam tavagato deva samipam devata ganaha. Satvam eva jagat swasta yataha sarva agato bhavan. Whoever comes before you, even if he be a demigod, is created by you, O Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so that's the last verse for today. Any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. In terms of this text 40, does Arjuna physically offer obeisances or does he just say it? And if he's just
He
saying
offers.
it,
He offers.
he does offer it. Okay, thank you.
He does. He does offer. He's going down again and again. He does offer.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare
Can,
Krishna Mata.
can you, because tomorrow is Baram Jayanti, can you glorify a bit on Baramji? I mean, can you say something on him?
Ask something from the class.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. In text 35, it's mentioned that Arjuna is offering these prayers in the adbhuta rasa relationship rather than in friend relationship. But you mentioned that in 37, Arjuna is happy and proud as Krishna's friend. So how to understand this? Prabhupada's purport in 35.
Prabhupada mentions somewhere else in the purport. He says that even that is explained in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Arjuna's primary rasa is he's a friend of Krishna. Now, as a matter of situation, that rasa is affected by the instant experience of seeing the universal form. But because Arjuna's primary rasa is of friendship, that will always remain in the background. That will never get, completely removed. So whatever may happen, Krishna may put Arjuna in any amount of illusion, spiritual illusion. Arjuna's basic nature that I am Krishna's friend or Krishna is my friend, that will never get lost. Therefore, that feeling will always be there of friendship towards Krishna. So Prabhupada mentioned that because that is the primary rasa of Arjuna, because of the situation, momentarily he is experiencing some other rasa. But at the background, that rasa is always there. That I am Krishna's friend or Krishna is my friend. It cannot be completely removed. That will always be there. It's just that it may come to the surface or it may go into the background. You're getting it? Therefore, in the entire Bhagavad-gita which Krishna spoke to Arjuna, you should know that Krishna did not put Arjuna in complete illusion. Just like some materialistic person, a conditioned soul might be there. In complete illusion, you completely forget everything. No. Krishna put Arjuna in a semi-state of illusion. That he's able to remember the real nature of Krishna also. He's able to remember his duties also. But at the same time, there is some cloud of confusion. And therefore, sometimes he'll express that I know what is my duty, but I'm not able to decide what to do. And sometimes he's not completely in Maya. He's in, you can say, little bit Maya. Therefore, throughout the Gita, his other side also keeps on coming up. Krishna, you are the Supreme Lord, or Krishna is my friend. Therefore, when there's a change of rasa, the primary rasa is not at all completely removed. That is there.
Okay, thank you. Amazing.
That's what we'll understand. I mean, we understand in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu when we study the later sections of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So the play of emotions is explained by Rupa Goswami. Let's say someone has a primary rasa of friendship. And now based on what pastime Krishna is doing, on that rasa, some more rasas will be added up. So that is explained as anubhav, vyabhicharika bhav, and all that. So what is primary rasa? That is known as sthai bhav. Sthai. This is your base nature, base rasa. And then the other rasas, they come and go. So that makes a very unique and distinct experience. Just like, for example, if you are making a drink, you may keep vanilla as the base. And then on top of vanilla, you may put chocolate, you may put pineapple, you may put mango. That is the topping. But what is the base? The base is vanilla. So similarly, the primary rasa that acts as the base. And then there are different rasas that may also come up and go away. And the devotee will then taste that rasa based on his own primary rasa. So it will make a unique experience. So Arjuna seeing the universal form, he is developing a certain rasa. Yashoda Mai seeing the Brahmanda in the mouth of Krishna, she is developing a different unique experience because her bhav is different. She is in Vatsalya bhav. Arjuna is in Sakhya. But she is in Vatsalya bhav. So she seeing the universal form is a different experience. Then Advaita Acharya seeing the universal form shown by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a different experience because Advaita Acharya is in Dasya bhav. So in that way, this is again a very broad subject which Rupa Goswami explains in Bhakti-sastri Sindhu. But the primary rasa does not change. It's always there. It doesn't change. Tulasi Mata.
Prabhuji, is it that the primary rasa will never change? Once somebody has got a primary rasa, it will remain
Yeah.
more or
It
less.
will always remain that because that's your constitutional position.
Okay. It may go sometime in the background. And
It
if
may
two
go in the
people are,
background.
one more question. If two people's basic rasa is different and they see the same thing, their secondary rasa will be different, no?
Yes, because it's a mixture.
Correct.
As I said, no, universal form. Krishna showing it to Mother Yashoda, she'll have a different experience. Krishna showing it to Arjuna, a different experience. Krishna showing it to Advaita Acharya, different experience. Why? Because the basic rasa is different.
Thank
you.
Prabhu,
So,
can I ask some?
so basically what you should understand is all the devotees who are eternal associates of the Lord, their individual experience with Krishna is a unique experience. No other devotee gets that experience. So if Krishna is giving an experience to Lalita Sakhi, Vishakha will never get that experience. Vishakha will have a different experience. Why? Because their basic nature or rasa or mood towards Krishna is different. And that's why Krishna is called Raso Vaisa, the master of all rasas. Because he can creates such variety of reciprocation. Such variety. That's why, that's why he's God, because he can relate with every individual being in a completely unique manner, which will satisfy that being to the complete extent. Okay.
Can I ask something related to this subject?
Yes, Mataji.
If we look from the theory of that we are Nitya Badas and we have never been in spiritual realm, do we still have a primary rasa, or we should develop it?
It is there. It is there, but it is not yet flourished. It's there in the dormant state. So you have to develop it, but it is there. Just like, a seed has the plant in it. It's there, but it's not yet seen because it's in dormant state. An apple seed has the apple fruit. It is there, but you are not able to see it. So in that way, every jiva has that natural state of relationship with Krishna. That's called Swabhav, or what do you call it? Swarupa of that jiva. But that has to be developed.
Thank you.
That has to be developed.
Prabhuji, can I ask one question?
Yes.
Yeah, Prabhuji, in Vaikuntha, the devotees have Dasya Rasa, na Prabhuji, or Aishwarya. So, so these devotees will never get transferred to Golok Vrindavan, Prabhuji. They will always remain in Vaikuntha.
They are in Vaikuntha and they are fully satisfied in Vaikuntha, right? It's not that they are not satisfied, they're not happy there. They're fully satisfied there. But however, if they develop a desire that now we want to also experience the Lord in that particular form or rasa, then that scope is always there.
Okay. Thank you.
But it's not necessarily true that everyone will develop that desire. They may not develop that desire. And at the same time, they will never feel incompleteness.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
One question, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, suppose three persons' basic rasa is the same, and all the three persons see universal form. The secondary rasa is also likely to be the same, or it may be different.
When you say three persons' basic rasa is same, on what basis you are saying it is same? Just because they are friends, so that means friendship is same. In friendship also,
there are two other friends.
In friendship also, the level of friendship will be different, no?
Right, but my question was, secondary rasa will be the same, or secondary rasa may be different depending upon their...
You're again not understanding. Here we are not talking about secondary rasa, we are talking about a mixture of secondary and primary. Right? Secondary is what? Universal form. You are seeing the universal form. That's an experience. Yeah. So that's creating a secondary rasa. But the ultimate experience is what? It's a mixture of the primary and the secondary.
Correct. But secondary rasa may be wonder or humor or compassion, fury, fear.
How it will be compassion? When you look at the universal form, you will feel compassionate.
Not particular secondary rasa. I was saying whether secondary rasa will be the same or it may be different for them. My question was that only.
Is it the same experience?
It may,
If
no,
it's the
it will
same
not
experience,
be. It will not be according to me.
Is it the same pastime going on? If it is the same pastime, let's say Krishna showing his universal form, then what do you think will be the rasa in the heart of a devotee? Compassion.
Wondrous only will be. They all
Wonder
will be
only.
wondering what is this. Yes.
Not compassion, right?
No.
Not compassion. So
Okay, understood. So according to my understanding, it will be the same. Yes. Thank you.
Prabhu, can I ask a question, please?
Hmm.
In terms of time, the destroyer of worlds, the next time that something would be under the instruction of the Supreme Person is during Lord Kalki's time. So, what is happening now in the world with all of the wars? That is just man's desire to control and for greed and etc. etc. It's not the natural decline. The natural decline of time would be during Lord Kalki's time.
You see, Mataji, everything is happening under Krishna's control. But one is direct control of Krishna, and the other is indirect control of Krishna. Yeah. Robert Oppenheimer discovering the atomic bomb, that is not outside the control of Krishna. That is also within the control of Krishna. But it is under Krishna's Maya Shakti's control, Maya Devi. Right? So when we are saying that Arjuna is Krishna conscious, why? Because he is directly doing what Krishna wants. As such, everyone is in Krishna's control. Every single person who fought in the battlefield of Kurukshetra was under Krishna's control. But Arjuna volunteered to be under Krishna's direct control, and because others did not accept that direct control, they were forced to accept the indirect control of Mayadevi. So, Robert Oppenheimer discovering the nuclear bomb and leading to destruction in the world, we can't say that that was an accident, even Krishna did not know it's going to happen. No, that was also under Krishna's control, but not under Krishna's direct control. That was orchestrated by Krishna's Maya Shakti.
Okay, so one is sanctioned and the other is direct control.
Yeah, yes, one is Krishna personally desires that. The other is, well, based on the law of karma of different jivas, the material nature is going to flow in a particular direction. That will anyway happen.
Understood. Thank you, Prabhu.
Right? Both are Krishna's Leela. Both are Krishna's pastime. You know, the creation, the maintenance, and the destruction of the universe is also Krishna Leela. But then it is a different type of Leela. And there is Krishna's eternal pastime. So, as such, we are all part of Krishna pastimes, Krishna Leela. It's our choice which pastime or which Leela we want to be a part of. Now also we are part of Krishna's pastimes only, but we are part of Krishna's Maya Devi's pastimes. Krishna's Maya Shakti, she is doing pastimes, and we are part of that. Just like, whether you're in the jail, a prisoner, or you are outside the jail, both are under the control of the government, and both are listening to the government. Isn't it? Inside the jail also you're serving the government, outside the jail also you're serving the government. No one is independent, no one is free. Similarly, those who are Maya Badaji, they are in Krishna's control only, and they are anyway indirectly doing what material nature wants them to do. They are not free. However, they can come out of that control and be under direct Krishna's control or spiritual master's control or devotee's control by voluntarily surrendering themselves. Yes. So we'll stop here. See you in the next week. Hare Krishna. 2 weeks left for your exam. So be prepared. Shri Prabhupada.